Hello everyone, and welcome to another Top 5 to Stay Alive for August 2020. And you know what? Summer's almost over. Kids will be back in school. Oh, no they won't. Are you getting sick and tired of all this, don't wear a mask, 6 feet, 20 feet, can't eat at a restaurant, can't do this, can't do that, can't go to church. Oh, now it's wear a face shield, be patriotic, wear a mask. I got it figured out. I'm also including shark attacks in there because they're happening. You better watch out. So I figured out something. I put something together. I think you're all going to like it. They will be on sale. So here we go.
All right, here it is. This is my answer to all those questions. It's patriotic. We got the flag. See that? You got the flag. It's got shark right here, so stay away from the shark attack. It's got the face shield. You got the mask right here. You just breathe out of that. We're all set. These will be available online on the Health Guardian website for $19.95. We got all areas covered, so let's... Isn't it getting crazy out there or what? Oh, my hair's all messed up now. Where's makeup? Where's makeup? All right, here we go. Let's start. This is Top 5, topic number 1. You know what? Seriously. It's time to shut down the haters, chase away the gloom and doom narrative, and get a dose of something positive for a change. Scientists now believe they've identified a common factor among some of those who have survived the worst of the COVID-19 infections. It's not just a matter of age, pre-existing conditions, or even sheer dumb luck. There's something else, perhaps an overlooked piece of the coronavirus puzzle. Now, one Ivy League expert has emerged from the dark side of the mainstream, not many of those, and has come over to the bright side with one simple recommendation. I'm not surprised too often, especially when it comes to the medical mainstream. So, believe me when I say this, I was stunned to see them rally around this one. A growing number of studies gaining acceptance by the mainstream point to a humble vitamin as a factor that could help some coronavirus patients. I'm talking about good old vitamin D, the sunshine vitamin. And with summer just starting, this emerging evidence couldn't come at a better time. It's not the recommendation itself that shocked me. After all, vitamin D plays an essential role in the immune system, especially against viral infections. One study done before the coronavirus pandemic materialized found that people who took D supplements had 12% lower risk of getting a respiratory infection. And in people who took the supplements to correct a severe D deficiency, the risk of respiratory infection dropped by 70%. One study of coronavirus patients at 3 hospitals in South Asia finds that people with lower levels of D have the most severe infections. Patients who enter the hospital with a D deficiency had 8 times the risk of most severe form of COVID-19 infection. Another study out of Europe finds that countries where people are known to have lower D levels overall have more coronavirus cases and more deaths. A small study here in the U.S. found similar results among ICU patients. So for people with lower vitamin D levels, either because they're not outside as much or don't get it from a diet, Dr. Joan Manson of Harvard Medical School published a commentary in Medscape that claims it's quite reasonable to consider a vitamin D supplement. Here comes the shocker. This is the ultra-mainstream expert is urging people to get a higher level than what's listed on the mainstream guidelines. She's calling for up to 2,000 IUs per day, a reasonable target for right now. Hallelujah. Look, clearly this is early in observational research. We don't know what role, if any, vitamin D ultimately will play in the infection. But we do know some things. We know that we need vitamin D, yet many people fall short. And supplementing with vitamin D can get our levels up to par. Luckily, for all of you taking CardioForLIfe, you will be happy to know that there's 5,000, not 2,000, 5,000 IUs of vitamin D3 in each serving. So if you are taking the recommended 2 servings per day, you're getting 10,000 IUs. This means you should have your vitamin D levels in the optimal range. When I get my yearly physical, my range is usually between 70 and 80, which I consider most excellent, though my internist doctor considers it toxic. I'm gonna die. Besides vitamin D3, CardioForLIfe, there's also vitamin C, which is proven to help fight the virus, and arginine-derived nitric oxide, which study shows also fight the virus and help with respiratory infection. Moving on to topic number 2. I guess I should have seen it coming. Mainstream medicine is too tied with Big Pharma to let anyone or anything take their opioids away. That is, not without replacing it with something else. And I'm not talking about natural pain relievers like Flex or Thermomax. Turns out, after some doctors eased up on the addictive opioid painkillers that have been doled out in dangerously high numbers, they just switched to another type of prescription med. It may not be as big of a cash cow as opioids, but that may mean it can fly under the radar for a while before industry watchdogs and whistleblowers can call this alternative pain reliever out for the insidious risks it could pose. Especially if you're a little on the older side, there's a new development in prescribing habits of American doctors, and it's one that could be putting seniors like myself in the crosshairs. It used to be that your doctor might prescribe a type of drug known as a muscle relaxant only if you were experiencing painful muscle spasms. But between 2005 and 2016, the number of muscle relaxants dished out to older adults tripled. No, there isn't some shoulder knot or leg cramp pandemic that hasn't hit the headlines yet. That a 3-time increase occurred because conventional doctors who backed off writing an opioid prescription for pain have nothing else to offer their patients who are in agony. Here's the problem with that. Even the ultra-mainstream American Geriatric Society says muscle relaxants should never be given to older adults. It's not just a few bad apples that are spoiling the bunch. Studies haven't shown any one muscle relaxant drug to be overall better or less dangerous than another. The agency strongly recommends to avoid the entire drug class altogether. Folks on the older side don't tolerate the drugs very well, especially at the dosages needed to actually relieve their pain. And those drugs were only approved for short-term use, yet seniors find themselves taking them for years on end. But that's not all. The drug's sedative effects make you feel drowsy and dizzy no matter what your age. That can make older folks particularly susceptible to falls and even spike their fracture risk. Now, the theory is that muscle relaxants are in fact better than opioids. As one expert told MedPage, today it's replacing an evil with a lesser evil. How about this? No evil at all. The really scary part is that for some patients, doctors have added muscle relaxants on top of opioids. Either one of those drugs on its own could prevent some pretty serious adverse effects, but combining them could greatly increase the risk, another expert told MedPage today. Muscle relaxants are known to amplify the side effects of several different classes of drugs, not only opioids, but also benzos. How many of those drugs does your doctor have you on right now? Non-drug alternatives for multiple types of pain include physical therapy, massage, and other body work. You can also try the ancient needle therapy known as acupuncture, or supplements like MSM or magnesium or warm Epsom salt baths, which ease muscle soreness and cramping. Best of all, try Health Guardian Flex in combination with Health Guardian FDA-approved over-the-counter topical cream called Thermomax. Both have 5 natural anti-inflammatories that work really well. I use it twice a day, first thing in the morning, last thing at night for my back, which I hurt working at UPS. Topic number 3. This is a surprising one. If this one thing happens, well, you can toss your independence right out the window. I'm talking about a hip fracture. At some point in their golden years, approximately half of all American women and 1 in 4 American men over age 50 will break a bone. And ladies, you're especially in the crosshairs after menopause. And if you're a little on the older side and your bones get shattered, you could saddle up for a lifetime of pain, disability, and even frailty. According to the latest science, it's not just because of old age, because it turns out there's something some of us may have been doing that could be thinning our bones and making them more brittle. When that happens, it can skyrocket the risk of osteoporosis. Fortunately, making this one simple change can help you keep a firm grip on your independence. Research out of China points the finger at a common household product that could lead to bone changes in older gals. The women who were most exposed to the antibacterial chemical triclosan, talked about it last month, had the lowest bone mineral densities. As a result, the risk of developing osteoporosis later in life soars by nearly 2.5 times. Now the study focused specifically on endocrine disrupting aspect of this chemical, specifically its potential for estrogenic activity. While it found zero connection between triclosan exposure and bone mass among women who hadn't yet gone through the change, postmenopausal women needed less exposure to the chemical for their bone mass to plummet. And we know that exposure to endocrine disrupting chemicals can send younger girls into premature menopause, making the process of bone loss start even earlier. All this for a chemical that experts say offers no benefit. Fortunately, the FDA has banned triclosan from antibacterial soaps and hand sanitizers, but the agency still allows the chemical in, guess this, toothpaste. Oh my gosh. If washing your hands with chemical can make your bones brittle, what will it do in direct contact with your mouth? People with lower bone mineral density are already known for losing more teeth. But that's not the worst of it. In the latest study, triclosan exposure was measured through urine samples and not through actual recorded use of products containing triclosan. Now, the amount of the chemical absorbed versus excreted can vary from woman to woman, but if the study participants weren't ingesting triclosan, how did it get there into their pee? Your mouth absorbs toxins, much more so than your skin, and brushing your teeth with triclosan toothpaste can increase the concentration of chemical in your urine by 5 times. That number may even be higher if you've got the red bleeding gums that are a hallmark of gingivitis, a condition that most dental experts recommend triclosan oral products for. Catch 22. This latest study stops short of telling you that toothpaste can cause or at least accelerate bone loss that leads to osteoporosis, but I'll take it one step further. You should eliminate all triclosan from your daily life. When you switch toothpastes, throw out your old toothbrush, by the way. Studies have shown that triclosan can linger in the bristles. Check the ingredients on the labels for your deodorants, shaving gels, and lotions, but don't stop there. Did you know triclosan is even used in some clothing, kitchenware, furniture, and toys, all categories under the authority of the EPA, not the FDA? In 2008, that agency decided triclosan was perfectly safe in those products. Get rid of them all and start supplementing with the bone-building nutrients right away. You can find a good combination of them in any bone support formula. Topic number 4. They're spitting mad now. I mean, really steamed at you. The crime? You had the nerve, the gall, to take matters into your own hands, protect your own health, and try something they don't like. Americans are turning to probiotics, including some you can find in things like yogurt and sauerkraut. Please, don't combine those two together. Ooh. As well as from supplements. Good reason for it, too. Promising studies show these all-natural bacteria can help, number 1, improve digestion, number 2, prevent antibiotic side effects, number 3, boost immune function, number 4, fight off colds and flu, and number 5, stop urinary tract infections. There's even evidence some can help with mood, memory, and more. So yeah, the mainstream hates it because anytime you can improve yourself on your own, you don't need them. And when you don't need them, they lose dollars. That, my friend, is the real reason for a new report that may have just been seen slamming probiotics. Here's the skinny behind their sour grapes mentality and how to choose the right ones for the job. The American Gastroenterological Association is out, I'll say AGA in the future, with the new guidelines for taking probiotics. And their conclusion can be summed up in one word. Don't. Oh, come on. The new guidelines claim that, for the most part, in most cases, more research is needed. And that's just to figure out how some probiotics might do some things for some people someday. They claim probiotics might help prevent C. diff infection after antibiotic use and may have some other specific and limited functions, but not for now. No. They say you should only use them as part of a clinical trial. Here's the real problem with probiotics, at least as far as the mainstream's concerned. And it's not that they don't work. It's that they do. Just realize that probiotics aren't a one-size-fits-all kind of therapy. There are many different bacterial species out there, and they each can support your health in a different way. Not all of them fall under the jurisdiction of the gastroenterology either. So if you're looking for a specific benefit, you do have to break out the Google for a little investigative work. Here's what else the mainstream can't stand about probiotics. They're also cheap and easy to get. That makes it just about impossible to keep people from trying them out and seeing the results for themselves. Now that the cat's out of the bag, the AGA is busy doing damage control. They're saying that new research can lead to the next generation of probiotics, and that those are the ones you should wait for. Oh, I can't wait. Well, I know what that's all about. I'd bet anything that probiotics they'll get behind will be overpriced, patented forms of the bacteria. Then they can finally earn some coin selling them via prescription at a massive markup. Don't give in to this nonsense. If you're interested in probiotics, go ahead and give them a shot. Just watch out for big food companies slapping with probiotics label on junk food in hopes of boosting sales. Either get them from a supplement or right from the source, especially yogurt. Just eat real fresh yogurt and not the icky, sticky, gooey fruit on the bottom junk. That's the kind I like. I use the Health Guardian Cleanse 6 days a week, which besides the fiber and herbs to clear parasites also has probiotics. But I also take another probiotic every day that is high potency with bacteria and covers multiple strains of bacteria. Moving on to our final topic, number 5. You're going to like this one. If your doctor has been on your back about your health, you've got plenty to worry about. He could be pushing meds, obsessing over your numbers, and cracking down on your diet and exercise. Translation, he's stressing you out. And that doesn't do any good for your cardiovascular well-being. Fortunately, there's a way to promote a healthy heart effortlessly. It also takes zero time and might even feel like a bit of an indulgence for you. Here's why now is the perfect opportunity to focus on your heart, and I'm not talking about taking CardioForLIfe every day, which is critically important to heart health, but how about with a no-stress fruit trick? You know how refreshing watermelon is on a hot summer day, and how it's hydrating hero when you've been out in the sun. But if that backyard barbecue isn't enough to keep you relaxed from all the stresses of this year, which is only half over, watermelon may actually help lower your blood pressure and support your healthy heart. It's no wonder it's been used in traditional Chinese medicine since the 12th dynasty and treasured since ancient Egypt about 5,000 years ago. You see, this juicy, tropical fruit is packed with heart-healthy nutrients like potassium and magnesium. But that's not all. No, sir. It also contains lycopene, the red-colored plant pigment that gives tomatoes their cardioprotective power with the strong antioxidant action. Watermelon's lycopene content is more than 5 times what you'll find in tomatoes. And there's even more. Because in 1914, researchers isolated a special amino acid from this summer melon, naming it after the Latin word for watermelon, which is citralis. It's called citrulline, and it can benefit your heart by increasing levels of another amino acid called arginine that your body uses to produce nitric oxide. You guys are all familiar with those. Now you've heard in my previous video emails about nitric oxide is crucial for helping maintain perfect blood flow and can help keep your blood pressure in check. In 2012, an Aviva study, adults with pre-hypertension or hypertension who took watermelon extract saw their blood pressure numbers drop. And that's just by not just by a little, but by an average of 15 points in the systolic, the top number, and 7 points in the diastolic, or the bottom number. A 2013 study found that taking watermelon extract over the course of 6 weeks helped postmenopausal women reduce stiffness in their arteries. Now is the perfect time to pick up a ripe watermelon from the produce stand, slice it up, put it on the grill, or scoop it out for salads and desserts. According to the research, you can drink 100% pasteurized watermelon juice to increase your levels of lycopene, or try a watermelon margarita. Or, of course, you can take these isolated nutrients in supplement form. They've been extensively researched and widely available at health food stores and online. You can find lycopene on its own and L-citrulline and L-arginine together in one complex or as ingredients in a circulatory support formula like CardioForLIfe. So there you have it. Let's move on to our testimonies. Dr. Harry, Bill Ebersberger referred us. He had a stroke, and Dr. Harry's CardioForLife and his other product restored Bill's heart and vascular tissues. Testimony 2. I've had high blood pressure for years, but I've never been out of medication because I'm only in my 30s and wanted to find other options. I've been taking the orange CardioForLife drink for the past few months, and my blood pressure has never been better. It used to be about 140/90, sometimes 150 range, but consistently now it's averaging between 150 and 120, 70/80. Thank you, Megan. Number 3, I was recommended your CardioForLife product by a gentleman I cross paths with periodically at the park during a power walking session. I mentioned to him, I'm walking to reduce my blood pressure and to improve my overall health. I must say, I'm really enjoying your product after taking it for just 2 weeks. Well, thanks for that, Eric. And then I just got this one in today, and I want to read it to you. I didn't have time to post it. Dr. Harry, after 4 bypasses and another stent, the doctor told me and my mom that they have done all that they can. He needs to follow a healthy heart and exercise and not smoke. He said his arteries were blocked from the top to the bottom. That's when a friend introduced me to Dr. Harry and the Health Guardian. After drinking CardioForLife for about 6 months, Dad went back in for an angiogram. The doctor met us running down the hall. He said he didn't know what happened, but there was no plaque buildup. Wow. That was 14 years ago, and my dad, 84 years old now, is still active. He had his carotid arteries checked last year, and there is 0 blockage. Dad told his cardiologist what he is using, and he told him to continue using CardioForLife. Thank you, Dr. Harry and the Health Guardian. Added note, Dad hasn't even had a cold in the last 14 years, and he is sure it is the daily CardioForLife. Well, thank you for that, Sandra. So that's your top 5. Did you get a little common thing in the testimony? Somebody referred somebody else. People, you have the power to get out there and tell people about CardioForLife. By the way, we've done, for those in the affiliate program where if you refer somebody and they go to your website, you get 25%. I decided to add a second level that will pay 10%. So if somebody you refer, then refer somebody, you could still get paid that way. So that'll be implemented at the top of the month. So we're doing everything we can to get the word out about CardioForLife, and I hope you are too. And you know what? Stay safe, stay healthy. Keep taking your CardioForLife, your vitamin D, vitamin C, a little zinc if you need it. 200 milligrams of zinc if you feel a cold or flu coming on, or you think it's the virus. And we'll all stay healthy together. And we'll be here again next month doing the top 5. I can promise you that. For now, this is Dr. Harry saying God bless America and God bless you all. Thank you and good night.